So I am back from Korea, and while I was there, I almost fell off a mountain. Allow me to elaborate. Yes, I have made my grand return from the land of South Korea, where I attended the Busan International Film Festival, in addition to many other things that I did there. And I was given just the most heartwarming and touching welcome upon my return. I mean, it's wonderful to be back, but it was just such a surprise, and I didn't see it coming at all. And I don't know, I am very blessed and lucky, and I was reminded of that. So, that was delightful. And I had an incredible time in Korea, many an adventure, and many a story to tell, many a web to weave, you know. I don't think anybody says that, and it doesn't relate to telling stories at all, I'm pretty sure, but I'm unconsciously thinking about Spider-Man, as always, so my apologies. Anyway, one of my Korean endeavors involved exploring a Buddhist temple, which was beautiful and fascinating, and then hiking to the peak of a mountain nearby, whose name I'm about to butcher, Gyeomjongsan. It was a beautiful hike, lots of trees and sloping hills and streams and amazing views of the city of Busan. I went with a friend of mine and a faculty member from my school who was, among other things, in charge of the safety of students on the trip. It was also a long hike, very long compared to what we were expecting. And we were sweaty, but we pulled through. After a long and tiring journey, during which many elderly Korean women passed us, we reached the peak. Side note, Korean women know how to hike, I'll tell you that much. They've got things figured out. They don't like to get tan, so they cover pretty much every square inch of their bodies. They wear these huge visors, or like floppy brimmed hats, and long sleeve shirts, long jackets, long pants, and gloves. They wear gloves, even in the hot sun beating down on them. And they charge. I mean, they power through, really. They have those walking sticks, and they're just chugging along, you know? And they'll leave you in the dust. Meanwhile, I'm wearing shorts and a Jurassic Park t-shirt and hyperventilating under the sun. So we reach the peak, and we're walking along this wooden walkway, and I pause and take a second to lean against the railing and admire the view, as any noble, honorable sportsman or outdoorsman would. And just as I'm letting out a relaxed, contented sigh, I hear this loud snap, and the railing of the walkway, the one I'm leaning against, breaks, completely snaps, and falls to the ground, and I slip and start to fall forward over the sheer cliff face in front of me. Luckily, I catch myself and regain my balance quickly. My first thought is, well, I've been hitting the noodles and Korean fried chicken a little too hard this week. But then I look at the railing on the ground and see that the wood making up the horizontal bar that had broken had started to rot away right at the spot where it had connected to a bolt on the vertical bar of the railing. So basically it wasn't really too much my fault, personally. It was just a death trap waiting to happen. But it certainly gave me a heck of a fright. Heck of a holler there. And the woman in charge of student safety just lets out a shriek/gasp of fear at that moment. A shrasp, you might say. Or a geek. Well, that's already a real word, so never mind. And she says, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been. I mean, that would have been it. What would I have said? What would I have done? You would have been gone. That's it." And I thought, that's reassuring. And of course I was equally glad that nothing awful had happened. I mean, that could have been real ugly. So I tried to rest the bar of the railing that had broken back where it was supposed to be. And then I was told that this would probably cause somebody else to do exactly what I had just done, which would be terribly atrocious. So I didn't do that. I just left the bar on the bottom of the walkway where it fell. And it's probably still there. I mean, I don't know how often they hike up to the peak of this mountain to do repairs. So I'm thinking that people now just see it and assume something horribly tragic happened there, which is sad and inaccurate. For those people, if you're watching this, hello, I'm here and alive currently. Anyway, the rest of the hike was great. We greeted the apparently feral cats that live at the top of the mountain. Somehow. I don't know how they survive up there. And we took some pics, some hiking pics, which is always good. And it was a real hoot, other than that one moment of near death. And I guess the lesson here would be, enjoy nature. Be adventurous. Have fun. Get out there. And try to be safe, but if something nearly fatal does occur, just be glad that you made it through. You know, don't let that put a damper on your day. Just be appreciative of the life you still have. Not to sound morbid. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go contact the trail rangers and implore them to hire an elderly Korean woman to carry a new wooden railing piece up the mountain to the peak to fix that walkway, because obviously she'll get there faster than anyone else. I'll catch you later.